Hello everyone. Today I am going to explain you about Yagi-Uda arrays, its function, its part where actually the Yagi-Uda array is going to be used. Since it's a part of our antenna and wave propagation subject, so let us going to start our today's session, Yagi-Uda arrays. As you can see here, the Yagi-Uda array has been explained in 1940s first by Uda, which is a Japanese scientist, and the second by the Yagi, which is he explained in English. So this is combiningly considered to be the Yagi-Uda. So it consists of, the main reason why we are learning this is that it is a high gain antenna. So as you can see over here, so it consists of Yagi-Uda arrays, it having different arrays. The first one, second, third, each having the height of the first one, the driver, which we had 0.55 lambda. This is the height of that array, first one. Second, this separation between these two, the feeder point and this array would be 0.1 lambda. Like that, the height from where this feeder point is been taken, the first part would be 0.5 lambda. It consists of one more. We'll be having the drivers, and when we had one or more types of reflectors, it consists of one reflector of 0.45 lambda. So all arrays having the direction of desired being radiation direction. So from this direction it is going to work. So basically, what is this Yagi-Uda array? A basic Yagi-Uda array consists of a driver elements, and it consists of one reflector and one or more directors. So what we are saying, it is having this specific dimension we have considered. So we are going to see how it is going to be used. For that purpose, we are going to see its radiation pattern. As we know that it consists of what? It consists of one main lobe, then it has three side lobes. So based upon that, it is going to get its radiation pattern, and we know that it is considered to be the high gain antenna. Among all type of antennas, the Yagi-Uda arrays give the high gain antenna. And we know for this is the driven elements is a resonant half wave dipole made up of a metallic rods. So whatever the rods we are using, it is all are metallic rods. And the parasitic elements, the parasitic elements which are continuous are arranged parallel to the driven elements and at a same line of sight. So LOS of that is what? In a same line of sight it is going to be arranged. And we know that the parasitic elements receive excitation through the induced EMF. So there is a EMF induced in it as it passes from the driven elements. The current which has faced, because current factor will see current always going to get its phasor form and the amplitude form for the parasitic elements mainly depends upon the length of the element and spacing between the elements. Just now we have seen the spacing. So what are the facings we had? What are the lengths we are going to see? We are going to see three types of length. One is a reflector length, another is a driven length, another is a director one. So for the reflector length, if you want to find out, it could be the 152 by frequency in megahertz meter. So this is the reflector. From the reflector where it is going to reflect the waves, from there this is the length. Similarly for driven length, we can say that it has a driven length of 143 by frequency in megahertz in meters. So this is for driven. So like that for drivers, what we can say, for director it is 137 by frequency of megahertz in meters. So by using this, the either direct or reflect the radiation energy. The radiation energy depends upon two parameters. One parameter is parametric elements is greater than lambda by 2, then it is considered to be the reflector. If the parametric element less than lambda by 2, then it is considered to be the director, which are in nature. So if it is reflector, it is made up of inductive, that is inductors. If it is director, then it is made up of capacitive, that is from capacitor. So based upon these two parameters, it's going to work. And next thing is that to increase the gain of the antenna, number of directions is increased in the beam directions. The one which we are increasing, to increase the what is the criteria of us is that we just want to increase the gain of the antenna. So in order to get that one, we have to add the number of directors. So next is that to get the good excitation, the elements are closely spaced, and the Yagi-Uda antenna is most widely used for television signal reception. So as you can see over here, we are seeing the back side of it. So for that, what we can see, as we are seeing in this diagram, it consists of, this is the back lobe we had, and it is what? Minimum directivity from the back side. from the back end, if you want to see, then it will get the minimum directivity. Similarly, it has a dipoles and it has a reflectors and it is having the directors. So as we have said that we are going to use the director, reflectors and driven elements. Since these are side one, this is called it as side lobe, very small directivity of sides. So in this directivity, when we want to see the directivity of an antenna for this side lobe, it will get the minimum. Likewise, if you see the main lobe, so it has maximum directivity because we are getting the radiation pattern in this specific dimension only. So based upon these dimensions, your back side of your Yagi-Uda antenna is going to be obtained. The next criteria for Yagi-Uda antenna is that its characteristics. So as you can see over here, the Yagi-Uda antenna is having the three elements, which including one reflector, one driven elements and one director. So we will be having directors, reflector, and the end which we are giving for the dipole is a driven elements. If it is generally, this complete part is generally fixed frequency, suppose the frequency of that would be the fixed, this antenna is very frequency sensitive and the bandwidth of that will be 3%, that can be easily obtained. Such bandwidth is sufficient because in television the bandwidth of that, whatever the Yagi-Uda antenna will operate, that would be the sufficient, and that's the reason it is used for TV receptions. So the bandwidth of 2% to 3%, that can be easily achieved if the spacing between the elements is between 0.1 lambda to 1.5 lambda. So this is the criteria for the bandwidth purpose. Second thing is that the front to back ratio is about 20 dB. If you want to see the gain of it, it gains of 7 to 8 dB. So this is the gain of your Yagi-Uda antenna. You can get it maximum of 8 dB. Similarly, this antenna gives a radiation beam which is unidirectional. Since we are considering it is a high directive antenna, that's the reason we are saying it's a unidirectional. If it is omnidirectional, then we cannot able to get the directivity maximum. And one more characteristic of this Yagi-Uda antenna is that it is a light in weight, low cost and simple in feeding with the signal. For the whatever the signal, we'll see that among all type of antenna, this is one of the lightest in weight antenna which are lower in cost. Similarly, to achieve the great directivity, more number of directors are used. That the number of directors may range from 2 to 40. That means depend upon you want to increase the gain, right? So in order to increase the gain, we can add more number of directors that ranges from 2 to 40. The elements of array we can add up to the 40. It provides high gain and the bandwidth beam width also greater than the available. So whatever the available is there, that's the reason it's considered to be the super directive or super gain antenna. So what we are saying, because of its high gain and beam width is greater than the normal available from the uniform distribution, because of that factor we can call it as super directive or super gain antenna as well. So this is about the complete Yagi-Uda antenna, its back end of it, how the back end is going to be obtained, its complete arrays of Yagi-Uda antenna and its radiation pattern. And hence we can conclude that the Yagi-Uda array can be considered to be the high gain antenna because we can add the number of reflectors 2 to maximum 40. We can add the directors. So because of these all characteristics, because of this dimension adjustment and designing, we can conclude that Yagi-Uda array would be easily get the high gain antenna, and it is lower in cost and it will provide maximum gain of the antenna. So thank you for listening this video. Stay at home, stay safe. Bye bye.